The Jaguar E Type Series 3 V12 was a unique and luxurious cruiser that retained the name and overall look of earlier models. It was less road racer and more luxury cruiser, with pace to match or even exceed its predecessors. Frustrated by the American market's obsession with cubic inches and V8s, Jaguar dusted off an old 4-cam alloy V12 Le Mans engine proposal, gave it compact single-cam heads, and squeezed it under the E-Type bonnet. The 5.3 V12 is just 39 kilograms heavier than the 4.2 feet 6. The Series 3s were different in more ways than just big overriders on later examples. They had low axle ratios to give acceleration to match the V8 bruisers, but back in Europe, these cars really benefit from a higher axle ratio or the overdrive 5-speed gearbox conversion. They also had progressively more restrictive emissions equipment, sapping power. Many have been imported and converted, with RHD chassis numbers beginning ones 1/1S5, Roadster 2+2, and LHD ones 2/1S7. Silver-painted steel wheels were standard at first, but chromed steels or wires were optional. Other options included air conditioning, Sundym-tinted glass, a hardtop for the Roadster, and a heated rear window for the 2+2. While Roadsters were generally cherished and little used, Series 3S, especially 2+2s, became cheap cars for a long time, seen as the poor relation of the E-Type range. Fuel consumption in the teens meant that they rarely became everyday hacks, but neglect of servicing and poor storage wrought havoc for many. The V12 E-Type is a consummate cruiser, with a huge spread of torque that makes the gearbox almost superfluous. It can accelerate faster than any earlier E-Type when needed, and only inferior aerodynamics make its top speed marginally lower. It is reliable if well maintained, though thirsty. Engine neglect haunts the V12, and when looked after they are usually trouble-free. Check the engine's condition, oil pressure and transmission for leaks, knocks and smoke. If the car feels uncomfortable and is not excessively wallowy, it may need to be replaced. The Jaguar E-Type, a 1971-74 model, is an iconic shape that has been around since 1961. The E-Type was initially designed as a modern machine powered by the brand's iconic inline-six. However, the engine was not ready for the 1968 XJ6 saloon launch, leading to the alteration of the E-Type for the V12 engine. This included a new engine cradle, wider track and egg crate grille. Fenders received small flares, and the line featured both open and closed cars, all built on the longer 2+2 chassis. The Jaguar E-Type S3 is the most attainable example of the breed and could be a savvy investment. Routine maintenance and regular use of the Series 3's V12 engine are essential for ensuring its good working order. Coolant should be renewed every 2 years and flushing the engine and radiator simultaneously to avoid potential silt buildup. Series 3s exported to the USA had to follow stricter emissions laws than the UK, resulting in a lower compression ratio, making a re-import feel underpowered compared to a home market example. The V12 for the E-Type remained at 5,343 cc throughout the Series 3's lifespan, consisting of aluminium 12-valve cylinder heads and an aluminium engine block with a forged steel crankshaft. The timing gear uses a single duplex chain connected between the crankshaft and the overhead camshaft sprockets, which should be replaced once it starts to slip. 4 Zenith Stromberg 175 CD carburetors provide fueling, but these are often difficult to set up and balance, leading many Series 3s to undergo conversion to SUS. The V12 is known for being smooth running, so it is important to be wary of any knocks or rattles, oil leaks and low-mileage cars. If buying a car in need of work and known engine issues, budget accordingly, as a marque specialist will generally charge upwards of £12,000 to fully rebuild Jaguar's V12.